Euro 2020 has certainly lived up to the hype so far, with some great football being on display throughout Europe. With that being said, the group stages have now come to an end. And with that, the 16 strongest teams of those groups have now found themselves in the group stage. For each of these teams, there has been one or two standout performers that have helped them on their way to their successes in the group. Hey guys, We Talk Football here, and today we look at one player from each of the round of 16 teams that has excelled in Euro 2020 thus far. In every tournament, every team has that one standout performer. Whether it's James Rodriguez for Colombia in that miraculous World Cup run he had, Renato Sanchez for Portugal in Euro 2016, and many others that have had breakout or have strengthened their campaign for being one of the best of their nation. Starting off with one of the favorites, surprisingly, for this tournament in Italy, and their star performer from the group stage, Manuel Locatelli. Locatelli's stock has soared during this tournament, as a similar story to Renato Sanchez in Euro 2016, with his brace against Switzerland propelling him into the spotlight. Premier League sides are now showing interest in the 23-year-old, but Juventus lead the way for the midfielder. It's easy to see why so many clubs are interested in Locatelli. The calmness and composure that he shows on the ball at such a young age of 23 is a sign of many great things to come. So if you were any club, why not snatch him up at this stage? Locatelli will continue to be a key factor for this Italian side if they do wish to go further and further into the Euro. Next up, let's take a look at Wales's top performer in Chris Mafan. Wales reached the last 16 thanks to the 4 points they picked up against Switzerland and Turkey, games in which Chris Mafan put in two solid displays at centre back. Wales conceded just one goal in those games, and he ranked first for tackles and interceptions combined in being 9 and second for clearances, as well as 9. Wales have been known throughout the years more so for their front line and midfield, but now the centre back of Chris Mafan has proven that their back line is just as strong as all their star-studded attackers and midfielders. Next up on the list is Switzerland, and for this team, it is the man that has been carrying them for many years, Xherdan Shaqiri. Xherdan Shaqiri has had a direct hand in 3 of the 4 goals Switzerland scored in the group stage, including a fine brace in their 3-1 win over Turkey. No Switzerland player has made more key passes than Shaqiri's 6 in the group stage. I think Swiss fans and all those alike could see that Xherdan Shaqiri would be a key factor for Switzerland, as he always is, and it's safe to say that he has proven it once again. Next up, moving on to one of the favorites in Belgium, and their star player, Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne finished the group stage as one of the highest rated players in the official Euro 2020 team of the group stage, and it's fair to see why. Despite only playing 135 of a possible 270 minutes, no one has made more key passes than him in being 9. 7 of those key passes came in Belgium's 2-0 win over Finland. He also set up his team's equalizer and scored the winner against Denmark. Limited minutes and still overcoming an injury, yet still being able to prove himself as one of the top players in the group stage just shows the class of Kevin De Bruyne and the difference maker he can be for this Belgium side going forward. Next up is Denmark, and their key player has been Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg set up 4 goals in 38 appearances for Tottenham last season. He has already set up 3 goals in 3 games for Denmark at Euro 2020. An unexpected creative force in the Denmark midfield, he sits level with Kevin De Bruyne with 9 key passes. His penalty miss against Finland dented his rating, but Højbjerg has been Denmark's top performer so far. Moving on to the Netherlands, with their top performer being no surprise in Denzel Dumfries. From right back, he has already managed 2 goals in the group stage, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. He's been rock solid defensively, bombing up and down the field for the Dutch whenever they need him. And although he has not provided an assist in this tournament yet, his link-up play in the defensive half and as well as the final third has been superb, and he has been a menace to deal with for anyone coming down that Dutch right side this tournament. Now taking things over to Austria, with their best player being Stefan Leine. Stefan Leine scored a wonderful goal in Austria's 3-1 win over North Macedonia, finishing off Marcel Sabitzer's ball from a tight angle into the net. The right back has worked hard off the ball too, ranking joined 5th for tackles in the tournament in being 9. Austria have surprised many with the football they've been playing, and a lot of that comes down to not just the leadership of David Alaba, but also players like Stefan Leine who have been contributing. Next up, one of the dark horses in my opinion for this tournament who have looked great in the group stage in Ukraine, and their top player for me being Andriy Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko had a disappointing season with West Ham, failing to complete the full 90 minutes in any of his 15 appearances in the Premier League. But he has given fans a timely reminder of his quality at Euro 2020. He became the first Ukraine player to score at the European Championship since Andrei Shevchenko at Euro 2012, when he netted against the Netherlands in their opening fixture. He also scored in the 2-1 win over North Macedonia to help Shevchenko's side reach the last 16. Moving swiftly on to what many would consider one of the underperformers for this tournament, in being England. And their star player, for me, has been Mason Mount. England did not miss Mason Mount too much in their 1-0 win over Czech Republic, but the Chelsea player illustrated in the other two games why Gareth Southgate put so much faith in him. He did not create that much going forward, but he worked hard for the team and contributed to England's clean sheet. His return of 8 tackles in those 2 games was at least 5 more than any of his other teammates. Being a midfielder, that is an amazing stunt to pull. In a team full of underperformers for me, Mason Mount has been a shining star in this Gareth Southgate squad that is still struggling to find its best lineup and its best form. Speaking of England, flashing back to the 2018 World Cup, and looking at their opponents in the semi-final, Croatia, and their star player, Ivan Perisic. Ivan Perisic had a hand in 3 of the 4 goals Croatia scored in their group, setting up one as well as scoring in the 1-1 draw with the Czech Republic and 3-1 win over Scotland. The 32-year-old has proven his class yet again. Next up is the Czech Republic and their star performer, Patrik Schick. Patrik Schick has scored all 3 of the Czech Republic's goals so far at Euro 2020, and one of them, his strike from the halfway line against Scotland, is a goal of the tournament contender for sure. Having scored just 9 times for Bayern Leverkusen last season, the 25-year-old has been a surprise star from Euro 2020. Next up is Sweden and their star performer, Emil Forsberg. While much of the focus was on Alexander Isak before the tournament, Emil Forsberg scored 3 of Sweden's 4 goals to take them into the last 16. All 3 of Forsberg's shots on target have hit the back of the net. Only Isak's 8 have completed more dribbles than the RB Leipzig star 6. There have been some star performers on the Sweden national side, but for me, Emil Forsberg has taken the cake so far. Next up is Spain and their star performer being Jordi Alba. Spain eventually kicked into gear in their final group game, romping to a 5-0 win over Slovakia. As you would expect, they had a lot of possession in their 3 matches. Only Aymeric Laporte, 259, made more accurate passes than Jordi Alba's 247 in the group stage. In addition, Alba was the team's most creative outlet, making more key passes, 6, than any other Spanish player. Next up on the list is the hands-down favorite going into the tournament, France. And their star performer has been Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba has been constantly on the lookout for runs of Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema in France's games, and he was finally rewarded in France's 2-2 draw with Portugal, when he set up Benzema to score France's second goal. Pogba has been solid in his 3 outings in the group of death, having excelled for France when they won the World Cup in 2018. He will be a key if they are to go all the way this summer. Next up is Germany, and their star performer for me has been Mats Hummels. Georgi Lau called up upon Germany's old guard for Euro 2020, and their experience has helped. Even if Germany only progressed to the last 16 by the skin of their teeth, twice coming from behind to draw 2-2 with Hungary, and despite his own goal in the defeat to France, Mats Hummels' return has benefited the team. He set up Kai Havertz's goal against Hungary and has been assured in defense. His pass success rate of 93.1% has been impressive. He has ranked highly for interception, and he has won more than his fair share of aerial duels. And finally, the last side we were talking about in this tournament is Portugal. And their star performer, well, I don't even have to say his name, Cristiano Ronaldo. Is it even a surprise to see Cristiano Ronaldo as Portugal's top performer in this group stage? The experienced striker is a top scorer at Euro 2020 with 5 goals, and he has now matched Ali Dai's all-time record of 109 goals in international football. With an additional assist to his name, Ronaldo has had a direct hand in 6 of Portugal's 7 goals. If that doesn't spell greatness, I don't know what does. With all that being said, that is my roundup of every team's star performer from the group stages thus far. If you agree with this list, make sure to hit that sub button and like for more videos. Comment down below if I missed any key performers from your favorite nation. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys in the next one.